Okay, I'm making this video for you guys for Wednesday, which should be today. You'll need to make sure you log in your class dojo, which it will be ready for you in the morning. You're going to go to Tinkercad. Okay, so I'm sharing with you my website. Let me get over here so you can see it. Okay, this is Tinkercad. So you'll type in Tinkercad. You are going to sign in as a student. I'm signing in as an educator because that's who I am. I'm going to give you the number and it will show it to you here in just a little bit because I haven't done this in a while. And I'm going to walk you through these steps. Okay, once you sign in as a student, you are going to sign in to my digital design class. These are all the students I've had before last year. Okay, it had a, I need to get rid of all of these kids. Move from class. Okay. Okay, this is your ID. Okay, I'm going to share it into the classroom. Okay, so make sure that you put that ID in to joining into the class. This is our class code for art. It'll show up. I'm going to copy the link and I'll even add. Let me copy the code. It'd be easier. I will add it into the classroom so that you guys can get right into it. Now, you just watched me do this, so I'm not posting it because I've got to add this video in there. Okay, so we are doing an activity together. So I'm going to go back to the classroom. Your first activity is to learn how to control your system. So you're going to scroll down till you see, or scroll up, whichever one you want to call it. You will hit join class and you will put that number in that you've seen. I'm going to start tinkering. Okay, so if you have never, ever done this program before, you're going to need to go to the tutorials. If you've done Tinkercad, you're going to work on something that I have further on. These will walk you through the assignment each step. So you can start tinkering this and it'll take you through on how to add these shapes in here. And when you're done, it's going to give you these little stars because you did what you were supposed to, okay? I want you to go through the tutorial and you will need to make sure that you screenshot each one of these in here before you stop. Okay, so this is what it should look like. You'll screenshot it. I should see 2 shadows and 1 on the work plane. Okay. Don't worry about any of the settings. Go through the tutorial, screenshot each one. You should have 4. When you're finished with that, you're going to do a brand new tinkering activity. And you will walk with me through it. So we're going to actually do a tinker 3D design. And you're going to start tinkering on your own. Come on. You're going to hit create 3D design. And it's basically going to give you this floor plan. Now, yours will read in a different dimension, so you want to make sure that you change your settings to where it reads inches. If you make it as default, it's gonna stay that way all the time, but it'll change into feet, but you want to keep yours in inches, okay? This is for the different types of 3D printers that we might have. I have yet to get one, and Tinkercad worked pretty good with that for a little while. We are working with the Imperial default. Do not use metric. So that's our unit that we're doing. Okay, and then you're going to close settings, and it should show 1/8 of an inch here. If you wish to go a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, you can push here. If you hit bricks, it's going to make everything look like Legos. Okay, so you created a 3D room. Now you're going to create one on here. And you're going to learn how to use this program. So this right here will help you rotate your piece. If you go through the tutorial, you should be able to navigate your pieces just fine. I'm going to move this back here. You want to make sure that you're able to see these squares because you're going to make a wall. Now you can stretch this out. Okay, now my recommendation is that you have all of your walls the same thickness. Okay, this is your height of your wall. Okay. Now I like to take this off because it gives me a little more room to work with so I can see. If you do not click this, you won't be able to change up the sizes. So this is approximately 6¼ inches. To make sure that you're able to duplicate it, you want to make sure you're selecting it. So you can copy it and paste it, or you can just hit duplicate, and then you rotate your wall and move it to the other part of your room because you want to make sure that it actually has a seal, and I like to duplicate that. I'm going to pull this one over here, rotate it again so that it sits on this wall. Okay. So what I'm going to be looking for is, are they straight? If they are not, you've got to fix them to where they are actual equal distance. And the way you rotate them is through this little measurement piece here. It's not fun all the time. It doesn't always cooperate. Sometimes it likes to act up. But you have to make them straight. So that is the most challenging part, is to get that to where it'll rotate. It works better if you have a mouse. If you can work without one and be able to I didn't like the way that one was, so I'm going to duplicate it and see if I can actually slide this wall right over. Did you see what I did? Now let's see if it actually looks a little straighter. Not quite. So that means I have to play with this a little bit more. The hard part is actually hitting the wall. There we go. You've got to line it up with these lines that are here, and that's the bear, is getting it to cooperate on those Sometimes it helps to make them just a little bit thicker. And sometimes you might just go ahead and take the piece and trash it and redo one. Okay. I'm going to do a 90-degree angle. That's what I want. So now I'm going to move it. That's exactly what I want, is a 90-degree angle. Okay, did you see what I did? Is I used this one to help me get the 90-degree angle. I duplicated it, rotated this way. Pay attention to your piece here, and you want a 90-degree exactly. And you can hit your mouse or your arrow buttons and shift it over and do just fine. I'm recording right now for the class for tomorrow. So using your arrow buttons will help you get where you need to make everything line up. You are going to be required to make your room. Now, if you are satisfied with your walls, you want to take every single one of these pieces and you want to merge them together, unite all the units together where they're one piece. So if you wish to raise the walls up a little bit taller, you can do them all at once. It makes it a little easier. Now, here's a secret. You guys actually can go into here and find these really cool shapes. Don't add something goofy in there. You might want to look for a couch or some furniture, a bed. They do have them in here. You just got to find them. Everyday objects. I think that's what it will be. There should be tons of shapes in here with what you can use. And you can set them in here. But do you want to make this look like a room? If you have to make the bed, make it into a bed. If you're going to make a couch, make it into a couch. Don't be goofy. You might be able to find it in some of these pieces. You might even be able to go to the search bar and find different designs in here where you can find a car. I've seen students make all kinds of things in here. So you're going to make this look like either a bedroom, living room, dining room, and you're going to add all of those parts in there. If you get stuck, then go back and rework those tutorials so you understand how to do all of those pieces before you begin this. Okay, so it looks to me like we are actually going to have to create our own. It's machinery, structures, hardwares, electronics. Used to have some really neat things in here, like a furniture in here, and I just don't know where they're at. I do not want to see a penguin in here. I want you to make it into a room. So don't add the goofy stuff, people. All right. Okay, so if I'm not sure, I'm going to hit this. And I'm going to see if they actually have one in here. Voila, looky there. So we can drag and drop. window. Now the tricky thing about this is you want to make sure that it is actually in the wall. So this is where you're going to have to pay close attention as to how it fits in there. Can we see it on the other side? Okay, so it looks like we're going to have to thicken that up so it'll fit through both ends so we can see through it. Should be able to see it on this side and this side. Can't, make it a little thicker. Should be able to see it on both ends. Use this up here to help rotate your piece so you can figure out whether or not it will work. This is one of the things that digital design does every year is they learn how to work a 3D program. Okay, so far I'm not getting it to where it will be thick enough to go through the wall. So what I may have to do is actually make that into a hole so that it will go through. Let's see, let's delete it. I have to make a hole first. So that will be under fun and games. I need basic shapes. These right here are considered holes. That means that they will put a hole through your wall. You can get it to push through. Okay. So let me see, I need to stretch it out because I'm going to use it as a big window. And I need to push it through. This right here should help you, I would think. Okay, if you're seeing a shadow, that means you're able to see the floor and it's not touching the floor. I'm not really wanting it to touch the floor. I'm wanting it to go into the wall. Okay, this right here, this cone should help it go through. Now, in order for you to be able to see it, you will need to select that piece. You want to select everything on here. Including the hole. Make sure you have all that. If you have any objects in there, this will not move once you unite everything. And then this should end up being a hole. So we go back to our window. And then you select the window you want. Slide it in there and you should be able to see it. Make sure that it fits perfectly because that's what I'm going to be looking for. If it doesn't fit, use this arrow, this cone, and pull it in the correct spot. And it should take up the space in both ends. All right, so I would add a chair, a desk. You should be able to type all of that in there. If you haven't gotten that far, don't worry about it. We will work on it Friday. Good luck to all of you digital design students. Have a great day. And I will see you